everybody. Good to see you again. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Let's see, what do we got here? What's going on? What's the big story tonight? Oh, well, look outside, because depending on where you live, it might not be there. Snow is battering the East Coast, and over 60 million people are under a winter storm watch. People are being asked to stay home, of all things. Can you imagine? Just sitting around your house for days on end, nowhere to go, just watching TV. How will we adjust? Now, I'm in the New York area, which is expected to get 12 to 18 inches tonight. It's coming down so hard. Let me look out my window. Jimmy, can you give us a live shot over here, please? Wow, that's intense. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Put on a jacket. You're going to catch a chill. Come on. His lips are so chapped. Man, that guy is ripped. There are no carbs in Westeros. Wow. Forecasters said that the storm will likely cover nearly 1,000 miles with heavy snow, freezing rain, and strong winds. Ah, just in time for the holidays. It's just like the song. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I had some black ice. Hold on. We're going into the culvert, kids. So, if you're out right now, please be safe. I mean, it's getting pretty nasty right outside my window. Jim, can we get a live shot again? What do we got here?
Come on, give me a sign here.
That's not good. That's not good. Reminder to everybody out there, the ASPCA recommends you do not leave your dogs and cats out tonight, okay? Remember to stuff them inside your dead tauntaun. You think it smells bad on the outside. Now, in normal times, with this much snowfall, we'd expect to see school cancellations, but because of remote learning, Bill de Blasio had bad news for New York kids.
The snow day as we knew it as kids when we looked forward to a day off, yes, it's true that that's now going to be a thing of the past, that even when kids are home because of the snow, they'll still be learning.
No! This is an abomination! Not just for kids, but for parents. The snow day is the rare opportunity to wake up your child with the greatest news imaginable. Honey, there's no school today. You're just going to toboggan for 8 hours and then drink hot chocolate. Now go back to sleep, okay, while Daddy finishes his morning wine. Man, it is really coming down tonight. Let's have another quick check-in at the Late Show window. Weatherman Jack Torrance. Jack, how's it look outside? Oof. All work and no play makes Jack a cold boy. Speaking of wintry weather, the president's attempts to overthrow the 2020 election have a snowball's chance in hell. He lost his recounts, his lawsuits have been thrown out of court, and his plans to retroactively declare November 3rd National Opposite Day have failed. On Monday, the Electoral College certified Joe Biden's win, and yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell congratulated Biden on his victory. Even McConnell has jumped ship. Luckily, his waddle works as a flotation device. Now, the president was not pleased with McConnell, tweeting, "Mitch, 75 million votes, a record for a sitting president. By a lot. Too soon to give up. Republican Party must finally learn to fight. People are angry." I see. People are angry. Are people feeling a little isolated? Maybe people are a little sad. Now, I understand how people must be feeling a little lonely and scared right now, and I'm sure people are upset that we the people didn't vote for people. Maybe people are stress eating a can of Duncan Hines frosting with a spoon right now. It would be nice if people's wife was maybe more understanding and wanted to be around people. But regardless of how angry people are, people need to grow the up. Even more pathetic than that tweet is the fact that the president wrote it at nearly 1 a.m. on Wednesday. Woo! The only reason to be up at 1 a.m. on Wednesday is if you had a really big Taco Tuesday. Of course, the president wouldn't be feeling this way if it weren't for the work of people like Biden campaign manager Jen O'Malley Dillon, seen here on the cover of her rap album, Straight Outta Southampton. O'Malley Dillon sat down for an interview with Glamour magazine and had this to say about Biden's ongoing calls for bipartisanship. The president-elect was able to connect with people over this sense of unity. In the primary, people would mock him like, "You think you can work with Republicans?" She added, "I'm not saying they're not a bunch of Mitch McConnell is terrible. Okay, so there's some kumbaya, but also a fair amount of kiss my butt. Now, insulting your countrymen may seem like a bit of a strange way to bring people together, but Joe Biden wants to build a true big tent where everyone is welcome, the terrible people, the where the douche nozzle sits at the table of brotherhood next to the asshat, where the numbnut holds hands with the jackhole, where the putz can raise his schmuck-faced children to be any kind of dillweed they want. That kind of outreach has to be in the presidential toolkit. Oh, also, Mitch McConnell is a tool. Joe Biden continues to act like a guy who's about to be president. For instance, tomorrow he's talking to me. And today, the president-elect announced he will nominate Pete Buttigieg to be Secretary of Transportation. Mayor Buttigieg obviously understands transportation. After all, he is a Rhodes Scholar.
Be the millionth person to make this joke win a free slam.
It's an historic nomination. Buttigieg will be the first openly LGBTQ person in any cabinet, though it is possible that no one told this to the president-elect.
And by the way, Jill and I have always enjoyed seeing Pete and Chasten, I should say, together on the trail.
Sorry, sometimes I get my LGs mixed up with my BTQs and my BLTs. Hey, don't be too offended. Remember, one time I thought my wife was my sister. Isn't that right, Gil? Jill. I could go for BLT. When it's his turn to take the stage, Mayor Pete extolled the virtues of transportation.
Travel in my mind is synonymous with growth, with adventure, even love, so much so that I proposed to my husband, Chasten, in an airport terminal. So don't let anybody tell you that O'Hare isn't romantic.
And it wasn't just the engagement. They held the reception at Chili's, too. They registered at Hudson News. Oh, man, somebody already bought them the Welcome to Chicago snow globe. Should we get them the neck pillow or a $15 bag of gummy bears? Now, Buttigieg recognized how historic his nomination was.
I can't help but think of a 17-year-old somewhere who might be watching us right now. Somebody who wonders whether and where they belong in the world, or even in their own family. And I'm thinking about the message that today's announcement is sending to them.
You hear that, 17-year-old? You stay in school. Someday you too may see your name on a sign outside a truck weigh station. I'm talking legends like Claude S. Brinegar, Neil E. Goldschmidt, and our current Secretary of Transportation. I have no idea. It's not just Republican senators bailing on the current administration. So are its own staff members. A little while back, I told you about the State Department's holiday party planned by Secretary of State and Marshmallow Peep in the microwave, Mike Pompeo. Despite the pandemic, Pompeo invited 900 guests. Well, the big event was yesterday. It turns out everybody had a great time not going because hundreds of invitees skipped Mike Pompeo's party. Don't feel bad, Mr. Secretary. It's not that they don't like you. It's that they think you're a moron for holding a party during a pandemic. That's why they don't like you. The numbers are pretty low. Out of the 900 people invited, about 70 people RSVP'd and only a few dozen showed up. Few dozen people, let's be generous and say that's 36 people. That's around 4% of the invites. It's never a good sign when your attendance rate is lower than your infection rate. Now, those who braved the contagion to attend were treated to a special appearance by a masked Santa. Wait a second, I recognize that physique. Nice try, Mr. President. I think someone just wanted unlimited cookies and to kiss people's mommies. Guests hoping to hear from Pompeo were disappointed because at the last minute, the secretary canceled his speech and tapped a substitute speaker. You can't do that. You're the host of the dumb party. That's like saying, thanks to everyone to come to me and Michelle's engagement party. Looks like there's just a couple handful of people here, so I'm going to tap Roger into substitute as a groom. Good luck, Raj. He's a hell of a lady, but not very popular, evidently. But Pompeo was there, and he is now in quarantine due to COVID-19 exposure after the holiday party. It's just like when Ebenezer Scrooge learned his lesson after getting a visit from the ghost of Christmas Obvious. Okay, enough meat. Let's get to the Christmas candy. It's time for some late show hot goss. Because we've got some big celebrity news. I'm talking about blockbuster megastar and man who I will not make a joke about because I've never interviewed him and I'd like that to happen someday, Tom Cruise. Cruise is currently in the UK shooting the new Mission Impossible sequel, Mission Impossible 7. Turns out the first 6 times were possible. While he was on set, Cruise noticed two crew members, standing too close to one another in front of a computer screen, violating the movie's strict COVID-19 safety protocols, which, to be fair, are hard to see because they're ghost protocols. There's no sound effect? There's no sound effect? We have no sound effects? We will never have sound effects, or they're going to be laid in later?
We'll find out.
Okay. Of course. You know I don't want them now. You realize I don't want them now. Of course, Cruise takes the safety of his production very seriously, and seeing the rules broken made him flip out, resulting in this leaked audio.
We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever do it again.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, glad I checked. Now, as intense as that sounds, and it does sound intense, that's just the audio. He said all of that while halo jumping from a C-17 onto the minute hand of Big Ben. Yes, Tom Cruise does all of his own rants. Now, the recording goes on for more than 3 minutes. Much like the Mission Impossible franchise itself, it gets kind of repetitive, but it never lets up on the adrenaline. Now, this is the rare celebrity rant where I listened and went, yeah, he's got a point. I don't know if you need to scream or any other potty talk, but Cruise is the producer of the movie, and he has to set safety standards to protect everyone's job on this film and all the other pending productions looking to this film to see if shooting during COVID can be done responsibly. But it is not the first time he's lost his cool while filming. The team at Late Show Hot Goss has obtained exclusive audio of Cruise on set back in 1983.
Damn it! This floor is way too slippery! Did you see how far I just slid in my socks? I'm not wearing any pants, and my parents aren't home! This is very risky business!
We got a great show for you tonight. Tom Hanks is here. Won't you stick around for Tom Hanks?